Okay, everybody, today we're going to do some mini tubs on a 67 Mustang that I'm working on here. I'm not very good at filming, so please bear with me. This is the first one I've done. This is almost complete on this side. I figured I would put a video together to show you how it's done, because there doesn't seem to be very many good ones on YouTube anywhere. This is not finished on the inside, as you can tell, but it's basically in there. When it's all done, it'll be painted, and some of this stuff here, I'm actually going to do a little bit of body work, so when it's all done, it'll be nice and painted, squared up. Things like that hole right there will be missing. Those holes that are being filled right there will be ground and finished, and everything will be painted. And I think I'm going to take this joint right here, fiberglass it all in, so it'll be nicely finished and painted there also. Okay, so this is it from the inside of the trunk. Sorry about my hand there. Everything in here is again in, but not quite finished. Once I put the trunk lid back on and get everything square, then I can finish welding that back in. I want to make sure that everything is good. But when you're all done, it should look pretty much like that. This again is a 68. It's not a fastback. It's a notchback, like most of us can afford. This one here is doing for a friend of mine. It is going to be a California special, recreation slash something or other when it's all done. He's not going to call it a California special, but he likes the ass end of the California special, so that's what we're going to do. Sorry about all this stuff here. This is not junk that I'm trying to store. It's actually ballast. I've got no rear differential or suspension in the back here, so I'm weighting this down because there's a 460 under the hood, and it's very nose heavy. Okay, I'll give you a quick rundown on the rest of the car that we've got going here, at least part of it. The other day got the front suspension done. As you can see, it's got QA1 shocks, the coilovers, single adjustable, not double adjustable. Weren't trying to go too far with it. It's got some nice basic Willwood brakes on it to get rid of the drum brakes, so we can stop it when it's all done. We were going to put some rack and pinion steering in it, but they're between the big giant headers down here, the 460 oil pan and everything else, there just isn't the room to do it. I apologize for saying a whole lot. I'm not a public speaker, and again, this is the first YouTube video I'm trying. So if it sucks, you'll probably never see it. And if I think it's okay and put it out there, and you think it sucks, it'll probably be the only one that's ever out there. So, but we are going to get the tubs put in, and we'll see if anybody likes it. Okay, we're going to use a square here, and we're going to mark this. That was a pretty good guess on my part where to put that hole, actually, for a guess. And we're going to mark that right there. I've cleaned up this right in here so I can get some tape stuck to it. And we're going to use some masking tape, and we're going to make a nice little clean line between this hole and that hole down there, using my Milwaukee ink Zol. If you need a felt pen, these things here, you get two of them for $1.97 at Home Depot. They're much better for working than your standard felt pen, pencil, or anything else. You can actually even get them in oil or something there. And they'll still work, and when you, like me, you forget to leave the cap off for an hour or two, they still work again. So I'm gonna square all these things up and put some tape on it, and then I will be back in a second. Okay, so cut all this out, trimmed up the edges and everything here. It's got everything nice and square. Took a little bit of a grinder to the edges so I don't slice myself to absolute pieces, which is kind of nice. I'm not always the safest guy, but you know, wear a helmet, wear some gloves, which of course I don't do, but you really should, or you can end up cutting yourself. Definitely wear a face mask. You'll end up in the emergency room like I did one time with a piece of metal in your eye. That never goes well. I trimmed that off just real basic, because when I get the tub in there, I will go ahead and fit that up real good. It's just sort of cut right there so I can move it out of the way and put the mini tub in there. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit, and I'm going to get rid of that mount there for your bump stop. And then I will be back and we'll keep going. Okay, got the bump stop bracket gone. Got the frame cleaned up a little bit. Cleaned up a couple of corners and everything a little bit more, so everything's nice and square. Not gonna cut myself. Went up and around the edge here, cleaned everything up there, made it so I can weld to it. Took a couple of spots off that weren't quite as flat as I would like. I'm sure I'm going to find a couple of more. That's where the mini tub is going to go up against. Let's see here. Normally I would build the mini tub, but I got these here. It didn't cost me very much. I got them from Mustangs to Fear. Came with a little kit. They were already the right size, instead of me going down and buying a bunch of metal and cutting it. pulling out the bead roller and everything else. They've already got a couple of little bead rolls on them, and came with a couple of little pieces of metal and everything else to stick them in. So I think it'll actually save me some time. So far the other one did save me some time in making them, and they didn't really cost that much. So that's what I'm using for the mini tubs this time, just because they were easy. Okay, we are in the part now where we are trial fitting our tub into our hole that we have now created. We've got this all cleaned up. Tried to clean up all the spots where I'm going to weld to and everything else as much as possible. Obviously, I'm going to probably find something I don't like somewhere along the way, and we'll take care of that when we do. So in trial fitting this, you're going to probably have this thing in and out 4, 5, 6, 10 times. Doesn't really matter as long as you get it right. I made a couple of marks on here, and then I put this string on here. The string again is to make everything so it has a nice clean line. Now this right here, I'm going to put a dash line right on here all the way around on this string, and that is not where I'm going to cut. And the reason why is because I don't want it to get too short. This is, I'm not going to call this a minimum, but this is probably about as far as I would think it was going to be. So I'm going to start about 1/4 of an inch in from this dash line, and I'm going to then put a solid line, and I will cut on the solid line. All right, I started with 1/4 of an inch or so of overlap in here when I measured it the first time. That's the dotted line. And then I added about 1/4 of an inch of room with my solid line that I just drew. Again, with used a string to try to keep it nice and smooth so it looks good when it's all done. So when I cut this, I should have about a 1/2 inch or so of overlap right on that factory rim right there, that I can put some screws in there, hold everything all tight, get it all in there. Once it's in perfect, like I said, it usually takes 4 or 5 times making everything right. Then I can start spot welding things in. This little strip of metal right here is a brace that's the same contour as the floor of the car. I drilled a bunch of little holes in it along there, and I'm going to use those for spot welds. When I'm all done, that's going to basically make sure that the wheel tub and the floor of the car are together and stay together. Before I weld anything, I'm going to hit it with some weld-through primer. Keep out Mother Nature as long as possible. If you know, no matter what you do, air is going to get back there at some point, and if you're not careful, you're going to end up with rust. The car already had a bunch of rust I had to fix. I'd rather not have to do that again. All right, well, we're just about done with our trial fits. I've had this thing in and out of here about 6 or 7 times now. It looks pretty good. As you can tell, we're pretty much right up against that factory line right there. Everything is pretty much nice and tight. While I go around, I'll get some of this stuff a little bit tighter. I am going to work on this corner a little bit right here. It's not as square as I would like it to be. As you can tell right there, there's still a little bit of a lip right there. And then right here, the factory is got a little bit flat on that curve right there. I might see if I can spend a couple minutes and curve that out. It's not going to get any tire clearance more or less or anything else, and it probably would never be noticeable. But I'll see what I can do just because you know. I'd like it to be round like it's supposed to be. I got our bracket and everything drying with the zinc primer on it, and then we'll keep going. It's nice and square right now, though. This is about what it looks like, what you're looking for when you get it all trial fit in there. And then obviously those screws are going to come out. Everything's going to get welded. I got a lot of cleanup left to do on the inside to get everything ready to weld. All right, we got the tub back out. Hopefully this is going to be the last time. I got this squared up. We'll when the tub goes back in, we'll see if that's right. Up here on this bracket, I have marked the curvature of the wheel tub there, so I can trim that, get that ready. When that's all done, I'll move it back in here, and once I can put the wheel or the trunk lid back on, get everything straight, make sure it's perfect, then both of those will get welded to the wheel tub. I'm going to have to still clean up all the back side of this. Still got paint and everything on it, so I got to get that ready to weld. I'm going to hit all this stuff here with again some weld-through primer. Make sure that we keep Mother Nature out as much as possible. I think that's it. So I'm going to get put this thing down, get some work done, and then we'll be back. All right, so I got everything in here wire wheeled, so there should be nice and clean and weldable and everything else. So when I say weld, we're talking about basically about 9 million spot welds. That's how you do this. You don't want to just sit there and try to run a big giant bead along here. You'll end up warping everything, burning through everything and everything else. So it's a series of inch-long spot welds. And then you move to another place and put some more spot welds, and you just keep going around like that until the whole thing is welded in. All right, this is the trunk side. Got everything cleaned up in here. getting ready to weld everything up. I got this bracket cut, moved it a little bit out of the way, so when the tub is in there, again, we can put the trunk lid on and get that all set up and everything else. I guess that's it. Took off a bunch of the paint right here. When it's all done, I got to do a little bit of body work and paint in here to make the trunk and the tubs look nice. So when you open up your trunk, it looks good. It doesn't want to be something you want to hide. Okay, all right. I will get back to you in a little while. However, when you're doing your rows of spot welds here, you're going to do, you're going to start here, you're going to spread them out, you're going to do here, 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 and then you're going to put another one here, and then maybe over here, and then you're going to go back and forth until it's all filled in. I'm tired of crawling in and out of the car so much, so I'm going to do the back here, and then I'm going to crawl inside the car and do that. But basically, when you're all done, you should have, like a little row of about an inch like this, little row of these little spot welds, and then you're going to move someplace else and let that cool down so it doesn't warp everything. And then when you're all done, you can clean them all up with a wire brush. You can put a little fiberglass over the top of them. You can paint them. You can grind on them and see if you can make them go away. Whatever you want to do, probably all depends on how good of a welder you are. Like I said, I just put these little spot welds on there like those up there. And when you're all done, it should be just one solid line of spot welds. Okay. We're almost done here. We got this thing pretty much in. Again, when we get all the welding done here inside the car, get the trunk lid back on, get all the crap out of the trunk. Pretty much probably going to wait to do that. Remember my ballast. Get rid of my ballast when the 9-inch is in it, and the rear suspension's back in it. Okay, all right. Okay, other than cleaning up some couple of spot weld areas and stuff like that, I think I missed a couple of screw holes. I got to fill in those. The wheel tubs are in. Everything's nice and square, as you can see. I do still have to the trunk lid brackets. I still got to weld those things in. And like I said, I want to spend a couple of minutes probably with a grinder and clean up a couple of the welds in a couple of the areas, especially with stuff like that where I filled in those screw holes, stuff like that. When I'm all done, I will probably do a little bit of body work in here so you don't see any of the welds or anything else. Clean up this whole entire trunk. Get it all painted and everything else, so when he goes to a car show or something like that and opens up the trunk, it'll look good instead of being something that just looks like a race car or something like that. So here in just a sec, I'll put the car up in the air. We'll look on the inside, and you can see that too. All right, this is the inside of the wheel tub. Did get the screw holes filled in. Got to do a little bit of work still there. Still got some screw holes here on the inside to fill in. Sorry about getting in the way of the light there. Besides that, some little bit of trim work. I got on the inside of the seat belt hole here. I got to trim that up a little bit. There's a little bit of metal in front of that hole. We're going to try to keep the back seats in this car, so it should have back seats in with the wheel tubs. So again, like I said, I got to fill in a little bit of these sheet metal screw holes I still got. I think I'm going to fill all this stuff here in and with fiberglass, and finish it off real nice. Paint them inside, outside, everything else, and should be real nice. I'm going to take this a little bit and weld that in, and then form it in so it's so you can't see any of that also. Okay. So hopefully you guys got some good information. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. All right, the tubs are in, tubs are painted, everything is in. Went and put some fiberglass on the edges there. Make sure that everything is nice and sealed. Painted it. And everything is in. Now I'm going to put the 9-inch in and the rest of the suspension, and we're good. So if you like the video, I guess you're supposed to share it and tell your friends. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to have some more videos, I believe. So if you want to subscribe, you'll do that. I think the next one's probably I'm just going to show you some of the projects that I got going here, and we'll go from there. All right. Thank you guys very much, and have a good day.